NSCC-002. Let's all pretend to be Meatball and how unimpressed we are today. And now that we have, let's take a look at the comments, the public comment section in NSCC, talk about when it's going to take effect, talk about the death spiral of the potential end of month macro pennant coming in with T plus 21, T plus 35 lining up, and all of that and more within this video. What's going on, Moon Platoon? We actually have a comment from Mr. Marty McFly. History is going to change. This is on the actual website of the NSCC rulemaking. We have I am a mathematician from Harvard University. I am a doctor and average trader safety. A lot of this is going to be at the end of this video and more. But first, let's talk about when this NSCC-002 is meant to take into effect on the Federal Register. 6/24/2021. Much of you have already considered the fact that NSCC-002, if it was in effect today after we read the DTCC announcement that Wednesday was the effective date, didn't do much. Yes, it didn't do much. In fact, we didn't have much volume at all. How this relates to the dark pool and whether or not we have reliable data from stockgrid.io, we're all going to cover in this video. If you guys don't see 2,800 likes on this video quite yet, then smash that like button until we get there. Comment out which like you are. Let's get going. So first things first, we already have the NSCC-002 document here that says specifically when it's going to be on the Federal Register. When it does go into effect, it is then going to have a every single day automatic margin call possibility of getting a supplementary liquidity deposit out there and then asking, hey, do you have enough money for the risky business you're doing? And if you continue doing risky business, the math is going to catch up to you and you are going to have to pay out the wazoo. So here is Creon's DD right here, a little bit about the NSCC-002 and its effects on the SLDs, the fines essentially that the hedge funds now need to pay. But more importantly, let's talk about whether or not the NSCC-002 is coming into effect as of right now, if we can see the effects on them right away. We know that Quadruple Witching Day is a day of very low volume, whereas that doesn't make as much sense. It's usually the day where the four different markets expire at the same time. So we have tons of volume coming in, and both times around AMC and GME have seen subpar performances every single time. That was only on Friday, 3 trading days ago, and we can take a look at stockgrid.io to be able to take a look at how much of that volume was re-networked into the dark pool. Now that said, right, so here's the 17th, the day before the Quadruple Witching Day. We have price 60.73. This is AMC. Total volume of roughly around 180,000, right? And these are not clear if these are blocks or just straight up shares yet. Short volume is at 61,000. Right, so that's the 17th. The 18th, we see a slight decrease because of the sheer amount of volume getting funneled into here, and then bam, all the way back down below 100,000 in terms of total volume from FINRA. They claim that this data is from FINRA. In fact, I would love if you are the creator of stockgrid.io to come and talk to me live on the show about exactly where this data is getting reported from, because we haven't been able to see daily reported data from FINRA, and we're not sure if this is going to be data that we can rely on a day-to-day live stream. Well, let's go back to the markets and take a look at that macro pennant. So go out to the hourly on AMC and you'll be able to see this white dotted line that we just adjusted for today's price action. The edge of the $60 high, 61.10 that we achieved today, is just pressing another touch point for this macro pennant, starting from 77.26 on the gamma squeeze from the beginning of June, and the bottom of that gamma squeeze intraday. So from there we have 1 touch point as a descending resistance, 2 right here, then 3, and now today makes 4. From the past day's worth of trading, we had the bottom of that pennant get touched on the in terms of a ascending level of support, and then 2 more from before a couple weeks ago. So now we have the total pennant currently playing out as expected. We readjusted it during the live stream with a potential breakout of still at 628 or 629. So that is at the end of the month. The reason why this lines up almost perfectly with Creon's DD about the end of the month in terms of NSCC-002 and its effects is going to be covered right now. This is the DD right here by user Creon. Give them an upvote if you guys haven't yet. The link is in the description if you want to be able to cover his DD in more depth. But is NSCC-002 going to turn T plus 21 and T plus 35 loop into a death spiral of T plus 0 as we approach Q2 end? And that's the important point that caught my eye. Whether or not it's going to be at the end of the quarter is the same place that I tracked this breakout of this macro bullish pennant. Let's zoom out again and take a look at exactly where AMC has come from, right? Take a look on the daily chart and you will see an incredible amount of bullish activity in the last few weeks alone. So at any point, if you look at AMC and say, consolidation, okay, fine, you will find that there is going to be a 500% increase just before June, May-ish, in the middle of May from 519 and beyond. Of course, you don't want to sleep on GME either. So that's the macro pennant on AMC. Over on GME, if you go out to the hourly, you'll be able to see that macro bullish cup and handle that we've been tracking for the last couple of days, all the way from the tip of the left side, the March squeeze, and then the June squeeze makes the right side. Currently, more consolidation is better in order to have as low volume as possible, because that is the point that bullish and explosive action comes from. This is just Google cup and handle Investopedia. We've covered it too many times to count. This is exactly where both of these are going to go skyward. So let's take a look here of exactly what NSCC-002 is going to do for liquidity deposits. Something big to remember is that NSCC-801 also goes into effect. In fact, 5 different rules went into effect today alone. Here are the 5 thanks to Stonkchi 420. We have DTC-009, NYSC-105, ICC-013, but the 2 important ones that have to do with destroying a hedge fund from the inside of the DTCC is NSCC-801 right here and NSCC-002. Right, we have been following 002 very, very closely. What 801 does along with 002 allows for 1 hour margin calls every single day. This means that when a member does not have sufficient liquidity, they will be asked to post it within 1 hour to the NSCC. If they do not post liquidity, then the member defaults. And then the snapping begins. Let's investigate the most important bits of NSCC-002. As discussed above, right, during monthly options expiry periods under its current rules, that is now gone. It's no longer monthly. If the potential of getting defaulted and snapped away is an analogy that means your mom is going to ground you into oblivion until you are married or 27. This is the equivalent of your mom checking in on you every single month to make sure your room is clean, and now turning up the tables so that you have to be checked every single morning. Now, you could go ahead and call your friends and clean up your room and make sure that it's ready every month, but now all of a sudden every single day seems like a much bigger task. To address this issue, NSCC proposes to change the frequency to each business day based on a daily calculation. Now imagine, right, each and every day the dirty rooms of these hedge funds using dirty illegal tactics and taking on more risk than they can handle will incur a more likely margin call on a 24-hour rolling cycle. The NSCC realized that this could get really wonky between these liquidity periods of the monthly options. These volatile movements in the markets would put NSCC itself at risk due to some of its members' options. So they decided to draft up this rule, which allowed them to not only grab liquidity around monthly options, but also to be able to ask more liquidity on a daily basis. This allows the NSCC to take hold of volatility and say, enough is enough. You're done for, right? So here again is more of that NSCC document, the one that we saw here with its highlighted section in the beginning of this video, but covered by Creon and highlighted. NSCC defines a period of grabbing liquidity and holding it to be 2 business days prior to monthly expiration. 2 business days. 30 days of September, April, June, and November. That means that June has 30 days, and the 28th is where I called this breakout right here, right? So from the 28th to the 30th, we are going to be paying attention closely, not only because of this macro pennant, but because of T plus 21 and T plus 35. If you remember, these periods all contain the T plus 21 and T plus 35 dates of January 25th, February 24th, March 25th, May 25th, and June 24th. We don't do dates on this channel, right? It causes a mismatch of expectation and FUD, but the most important thing that when people ask, hey, what do you expect for AMC and GME, I'm expecting these bullish patterns to pay off, and I don't have a time that I don't have a time constraint on that prediction. I just know that we are getting real close. So if you guys want to be able to read into why T plus 21 and plus T plus 35 turns it into a T plus 0 death spiral, then go ahead, smash that like, tell me that you want me to cover it tomorrow morning during the live stream, and I will do exactly that, or go into the description and read it through yourself. Comment down below if you have any other questions. The trading application that I was using is called Webull, and you can get 2 free stocks by using the link in the description down below. If you want a little bit more help, Lux Algo is the tool that I use to get buy and sell signals. In fact, that's exactly how I was able to buy the dip on Ethereum. On GME right now, we have a strong buy signal from the Lux Algo trading software with no sell signal yet. And for AMC, we saw a strong buy signal from the last trading day that has not yet changed at all. So no sells across the board. Seems like consolidation and holding is going to be one of the AMC and GME predictions for later this week. If you guys haven't had a chance to take a look at Ortex recently, we currently have 14% on GMEs in terms of short interest. That is risen substantially from the about sub 12% short interest from the weekend, and on AMC currently at 13.7%. That is comfortably in the range for a potential squeeze, much higher than the 11 or 12% that we had for Volkswagen. And once again, if you guys want to be able to support the show or get yourself one of the subscriptions from Ortex, from Lux Algo, or from BlockFi, right? Getting your $250 of free Bitcoin, supporting the show like the Moon Platoon Grillionaire and the Space Legend do. It's all appreciated, but if you just want to tune in for tomorrow's live stream, make sure to turn your bell icon on, and we'll see you in the money. Peace.